What if I told you there are games out there that make players lose sleep, questioning everything they believe? Games so powerful, players literally can't sleep after finishing them. 25 games with stories so good, they'll stick with you for years. Starting our countdown at number 25, we have the game that basically invented cinematic gaming. Infiltrate a nuclear facility in Hideo Kojima's masterpiece that blends stealth gameplay with a story about war, genetics, and the nature of soldiers. This is stealth action where you emphasize avoiding rather than confronting enemies. Each boss fight introduces unique mechanics and psychological elements that'll mess with your head. Kojima was out here making movies disguised as video games before it was cool. The codec conversations provide such deep lore and character development, and this game broke the fourth wall so many times it basically demolished it entirely. Multiple difficulty levels and hidden content encourage replay, giving you 10 to 12 hours of groundbreaking stealth gameplay that literally defined a genre. But wait until you see what's climbing higher on our list.
I haven't had this much fun since, the last time.
Planescape Torment. At number 24, we have philosophy disguised as a fantasy RPG. Play as an immortal who awakens in a mortuary with no memory of his countless past lives. This game asks the ultimate question: what defines a person's identity? This classic isometric CRPG has more dialogue than combat, and your character stats affect available conversation options significantly. Combat is real-time with pause, but here's the thing: many encounters can be avoided through clever dialogue alone. This game has more text than most novels and somehow makes every word count. It's basically a philosophy degree disguised as entertainment. You're looking at 40 to 60 hours of dense philosophical storytelling that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about RPGs. Speaking of questioning everything, let's move up to number 23. BioShock Infinite takes us to the clouds. Explore the floating city of Columbia with Elizabeth, an AI companion who feels genuinely alive. The story tackles themes of American exceptionalism, racism, and quantum physics while delivering spectacular set pieces. This first-person shooter features Vigor's magical abilities and skyline traversal that makes you feel like you're flying. It's more action-oriented than the original BioShock, but Elizabeth assists in combat and exploration without ever being a burden. You'll progress linearly through Columbia's districts with environmental storytelling that'll blow your mind. This game has the best AI companion in gaming history and an ending that will make you question everything. Also, apparently, sky cities are just as problematic as underwater cities. 12 to 15 hours of mind-bending story revelations await you here, but if you think that's mind-bending, wait until you meet our number 22. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. We journey through a mythological Norse hellscape while experiencing psychosis from the protagonist's perspective. Created in consultation with mental health experts, it's both beautiful and deeply unsettling. This linear action adventure features binaural audio that creates voices in your head, providing hints, criticism, and commentary. The combat is simple but brutal, with focus on environmental storytelling and psychological horror. Ninja Theory basically said, let's make a game about mental illness that's actually respectful and terrifying at the same time. Play this with headphones or don't play it at all. You're looking at 6 to 8 hours of intense, focused narrative experience that'll stay with you forever. Ready for some classic psychological horror? Number 21 is legendary. Silent Hill 2 brings us to the fog-shrouded town of Silent Hill, where you search for your dead wife. This is a remake of the legendary 2001 masterpiece, and the original was so beloved that they completely rebuilt it for modern consoles. This psychological horror uses symbolism and atmosphere to create fear that comes from within rather than jump scares. This survival horror experience features limited combat and resources with emphasis on exploration, puzzle solving, and atmospheric tension, multiple endings based on your actions throughout the game, and the combat is deliberately clunky to enhance that feeling of vulnerability. This game doesn't just scare you, it psychologically analyzes you while it's doing it. The symbolism is so deep that people are still writing thesis papers about it 20 years later. 8 to 10 hours of psychological terror that stays with you long after finishing. From psychological horror to philosophical brilliance, number 20, Disco Elysium. Play as a detective with amnesia, solving a murder case while battling your own inner demons. This is the most text-heavy game on our entire list, but every single word is crafted like literature. This isometric RPG focuses entirely on dialogue, investigation, and internal monologue. No combat here. All conflicts are resolved through conversation and skill checks. Your character's thoughts appear as separate voices, commenting on situations, and is both hilarious and disturbing. Extensive character customization affects available dialogue options significantly. This game is basically what if Franz Kafka wrote a detective novel and made it into an RPG. The writing is so good, it makes other games' dialogue feel like caveman grunts. 25 to 30 hours of the absolute best writing in gaming. Speaking of style, number 19 has more style than a fashion magazine. Persona 5 brings us stylish phantom thieves, lead a group of high school students who steal the corrupt hearts of adults. This game is stylish beyond belief, with a story that tackles real social issues while delivering supernatural heist thrills. Similar structure to Persona 4, but more streamlined, balanced daily life, relationships, and supernatural dungeon crawling. Turn-based combat with style and flair that'll make your jaw drop. Time management between social stats, confidant relationships, and palace infiltration keeps you constantly engaged. This game is so stylish, it makes other games look like they're wearing sweatpants to a red carpet event. The UI design alone should win awards. You're looking at 80 to 100 hours of incredibly stylish JRPG content that'll consume your life.
I did not expect to find any outside the Underdark who saw the world as I do and wanted from the world what I want.
From stylish teenagers to the most authentic D&D experience ever created, Baldur's Gate 3 experienced the most authentic D&D campaign ever created in digital form. Every conversation, every combat encounter, and every relationship can unfold in countless ways based on your choices and dice rolls. Turn-based combat with full party control, extensive dialogue trees with skill checks, and complete freedom to approach problems creatively. Massive open world with multiple solutions to every quest. It's incredible. Romance options, deep companion stories, and consequences that span the entire campaign. Larian Studios basically said, what if we made D&D but with AAA production values? And somehow pulled it off completely. Also, you can romance a bear. The internet had feelings about this. 75 to 100 plus hours with incredible replay value due to different character builds and choices.
People will up and go mad when they believe their life is over.
In the road!
From bears to zombies, number 17, The Walking Dead, Season 1. Protect young Clementine in a zombie apocalypse where your relationships matter more than your aim. This game proved that choice-based narratives could create some of the most emotionally powerful moments in gaming history. This episode-based adventure game features dialogue choices and quick-time events with minimal traditional gameplay. The focus is on conversation choices that affect character relationships and story outcomes. Light puzzle solving and action sequences complement the narrative perfectly. Telltale Games figured out how to make grown adults cry over pixels. Clementine is gaming's best daughter figure, and Lee is gaming's best surrogate dad. 5 episodes, roughly 12 to 15 hours total, designed to be played over time like a TV series that'll break your heart.
Casting for his new movie, Ambrosio. He saw 20,000 girls, and long story short, he picked you.
Speaking of mysterious experiences, number 16 will mess with your reality. Uncover the mystery of missing actress Marissa Marcel by scrubbing through footage from her 3 unreleased films. This game blends FMV with supernatural mystery in ways that will leave you questioning what's even real anymore. This interactive film investigation uses match cuts to navigate between scenes. Click on objects, people, or concepts to jump between related footage across 3 different film shoots. No traditional gameplay mechanics, everything happens through film navigation and discovery. This is basically Netflix's interactive movies, but actually good and genuinely unsettling. The FMV quality is so high, you'll forget you're playing a game. 6 to 8 hours of mystery unraveling through cinematic footage that'll keep you guessing until the very end. From movies to pure detective work, number 15 requires actual brain power. Return of the Obra Dinn. Investigate the fate of 60 missing passengers and crew aboard a mysterious ship, using a supernatural pocket watch that lets you witness the moment of each person's death. Yeah, it's as dark as it sounds. This detective mystery game features non-linear investigation where you use the Memento Mortem watch to witness death scenes, then deduce identities and fates using visual clues and process of elimination. No combat here, purely logic and deduction-based gameplay. This game makes you feel like Sherlock Holmes if Sherlock Holmes had a supernatural pocket watch and questionable morals. The unique one-bit art style creates an unforgettable atmosphere that looks like a Renaissance painting had a baby with early computer graphics. 8 to 12 hours, depending on your deduction skills. From deduction to pure heart, number 14 is an indie masterpiece. Undertale. We have a role-playing game where you don't have to destroy anyone. Every monster you encounter can be befriended, and the game remembers every choice you make, even across multiple playthroughs. This indie masterpiece somehow has more heart than most AAA games. This top-down RPG features bullet hell combat segments where you can choose to fight, act, or show mercy in every encounter. Multiple routes through the game, pacifist neutral genocide, provide completely different experiences and endings. Heavy emphasis on dialogue and character interactions, and it will judge you harder than your disappointed parents if you choose violence. 6 to 8 hours per playthrough, but multiple runs reveal completely new content that'll surprise you every time. From indie charmed epic boss battles, number 13 will make you feel terrible. Shadow of the Colossus. Hunt massive ancient creatures across a desolate landscape to resurrect a loved one. Each Colossus is a living puzzle that you must climb and defeat, but cautiously, the game constantly questions whether your quest is worth the cost. This open world features 16 unique boss battles and literally no other enemies. Between Colossi, you explore the vast empty landscape on horseback, following your sword's light to the next target. Each Colossus requires different strategies and climbing techniques. This game will make you feel like a monster for killing beautiful, majestic creatures that were just minding their own business. It's basically Shadow of the Guilt Complex. 8 to 10 hours focused entirely on epic boss encounters that'll haunt your dreams.
I can see light coming from his belly.
From feeling guilty to feeling confused underwater, number 12 is a classic BioShock. Descend into rapture, an underwater utopia gone horribly wrong. This game asks profound questions about free will while delivering one of gaming's most shocking plot twists. This game makes you question everything you thought you knew about choice in video games. This first-person shooter with RPG elements is set in a semi-open underwater city. You can explore Rapture's different districts in a somewhat non-linear fashion using plasmids, genetic modifications alongside traditional weapons. Audio logs scattered throughout provide deep lore, and Big Daddies are simultaneously terrifying and weirdly adorable. It's genuinely confusing.
Fish looks like he just had his cherry popped.
12 to 15 hours with extensive optional exploration in one of gaming's most memorable settings. From underwater cities to revolutionary physics, number 11 changed everything. Half-Life 2. Fight against an alien occupation of Earth as Gordon Freeman. Revolutionary for its physics-based puzzles and seamless storytelling without cutscenes. Everything happens in real time through your eyes. This linear first-person shooter integrates physics-based puzzles into combat and exploration beautifully. Story unfolds entirely through environmental storytelling and in-game conversations. Variety of weapons and vehicles keep gameplay fresh throughout. This game taught us that crowbars are the ultimate multi-tool, and that silent protagonists can still be incredibly compelling. The physics engine was so good, people spent hours just stacking boxes. 12 to 15 hours of gameplay that influenced an entire generation of games.
You know, being Carolyn taught me a valuable lesson. I thought you were my greatest enemy, when all along you were my best friend.
Speaking of influential games, number 10 has the best villain ever. Portal 2. Solve mind-bending puzzles while GLaDOS, one of gaming's greatest villains, provides darkly hilarious commentary. GLaDOS is basically if Siri became evil and obsessed with cake. This puzzle platformer features linear progression through test chambers, with each chamber introducing new mechanics while advancing the story through environmental details and character dialogue. The writing is so good you'll actually laugh while being insulted by an AI. The single-player campaign explores the history of aperture science, while co-op mode creates entirely new narrative possibilities. The cake is a lie. If you know, you know. 8 to 10 hours single player, 6 to 8 hours co-op of pure genius. From AI villains to time-traveling heroes, number 9 is JRPG perfection. Chrono Trigger. Time travel through different eras to prevent the apocalypse, with multiple endings and a story that spans from prehistoric times to the far future. Every playthrough can feel completely different. This is what happens when you put the creators of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest in the same room. It's basically the Avengers of 90s JRPGs. This classic JRPG features world map exploration and turn-based combat, where you can tackle certain areas in different orders. Your choices affect which of the multiple endings you'll see, and side quests unlock additional character development and story content. Time travel fact: this game was revolutionary in 1995, and it's still better than most modern JRPGs. And it's still perfect after all these years. 20 to 25 hours for main story, with significant replay value for different endings. From time manipulation to high school murder mysteries, number 8 is uniquely addictive. Persona 4 Golden: solve murders in a small Japanese town while balancing high school life, friendships, and supernatural dungeons. It's part murder mystery, part social simulator, and completely addictive. This game somehow makes studying for exams and doing part-time jobs feel absolutely epic. Split between daily life simulation and dungeon crawling. During the day, you attend school, build relationships, and investigate. At night or on free days, you enter supernatural dungeons with turn-based combat. Time management is crucial as you balance social stats, relationships, and dungeon progress. This game makes teenagers solving murders better than actual detectives seem completely believable. Also, the soundtrack will be stuck in your head for months. You've been warned. 80 to 100 hours of content that'll consume your entire social life.
My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot.
From Japanese high schools to American Gothic horror, number 7 is beautifully tragic. What Remains of Edith Finch. Explore a mysterious family home where each room tells the story of a family member's tragic death. Every death is experienced through unique gameplay mechanics that make you feel like you're living their final moments. This game is basically Final Destination, the video game, but somehow beautiful instead of cheesy. This walking simulator features interactive narrative elements where each family story has completely different gameplay mechanics, from controlling a baby in a bathtub to experiencing a comic book fantasy. Linear progression through the house, but each room offers environmental storytelling. Every single death will mess you up in completely different ways, and it's all presented with incredible artistry. 2 to 3 hours of concentrated, unforgettable narrative that'll stick with you forever.
What's this about ahead? Do you have any idea who this is?
From family tragedy to father-son bonding, number 6 redefined a character: God of War. Follow Kratos and his son Atreus on a deeply personal journey through Norse mythology. This isn't the rage-fueled Kratos of old. It's a story about fatherhood, legacy, and learning to be better than your past. They took an angry murder machine and turned him into gaming's best dad. This semi-open world features a central hub area and branching paths. Main story is linear but allows for exploration and side quests that often reveal crucial lore. Combat is visceral and strategic, emphasizing Kratos' new axe and defensive play. The entire game appears to be shot in one continuous take, pure technical wizardry that puts most Hollywood movies to shame. 20 to 25 hours for main story, 40 plus for completionists who want to experience every moment of this masterpiece.
Ah yes, Reapers. The immortal race of sentient starships allegedly waiting in dark space. We have dismissed that claim.
From daddy issues to space relationships, number 5 is legendary. Your relationships with your team members become as important as any weapon. This is the Empire Strikes Back of video games, the perfect middle chapter that remembers every choice you've ever made across the series. This mission-based structure features a central hub, your ship, where crew interactions happen. You can choose mission order and explore optional planets. Combat is cover-based shooting with RPG elements. Heavy emphasis on dialogue choices that affect relationships and story outcomes throughout your 25-30 hours with extensive optional content that's all worth experiencing.
Oh, why are these all stuck together? I'm just fucking with you.
From space zombies to actual fungal zombies, number 4 started it all: The Last of Us. Experience the most emotionally devastating opening in gaming history. If you don't cry in the first 20 minutes, you might be dead inside. Then, follow Joel and Ellie's journey across a beautifully dangerous America. This linear, story-driven experience features survival horror elements where stealth and resource management are crucial as ammunition is scarce. While the path is mostly predetermined, environments encourage exploration for supplies and optional conversations that deepen character relationships. This game proved that video games could deliver stories as powerful as any film or novel, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. 15 to 20 hours of intense, focused storytelling that single-handedly proved video games are art.
So we're to barter. favor for a favor, aren't you?
I'm gonna kill you, Hattori.
From post-apocalyptic America to dark fantasy Europe, number 3 ruined other RPGs. Enter a dark fantasy world where your choices shape entire kingdoms. Playing as Geralt of Rivia, every contract you take and every decision you make ripples through this massive, living world in unexpected ways. This game ruined other RPGs for me. CD Projekt Red somehow made every side quest feel genuinely important. This massive open world offers complete exploration freedom where the main quest drives the central narrative, but the game truly shines in its side content, which is both amazing and terrible for your sleep schedule. Combat blends swordplay, magic, and alchemy perfectly. With over 50 million copies sold and countless Game of the Year awards, this became the gold standard for RPGs. Every contract and side quest feels handcrafted with full voice acting and meaningful consequences. Easily 100+ hours of content, with the expansions adding another 50+ hours of campaign quality material.
Should I just sneak on now?
From fantasy quests to Wild West freedom, number 2 is pure immersion. Red Dead Redemption 2. Live the life of an outlaw in the dying days of the Wild West. This is the most immersive open-world experience ever created, where your horse becomes your companion and every stranger has a story to tell. Warning, you will spend 3 hours just petting your horse and watching sunsets, and it's absolutely worth every minute. Completely open world with total freedom to explore, while main story missions drive the narrative forward. You can spend hundreds of hours hunting, fishing, playing poker, or just riding across the stunning landscape. Rockstar made a cowboy simulator so detailed that your character's beard grows in real time. It's ridiculous, and I love it. Over 50 million copies sold speak volumes about this masterpiece. Side missions and random encounters are so well crafted they feel like mini movies. Players regularly describe it as the most beautiful game ever made, and the community is still discovering new interactions years later. Expect 60+ hours for the main story alone, with potentially 200+ hours of content. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The Last of Us Part 2. The ultimate story-driven gaming experience. Step into a post-apocalyptic world where every choice carries devastating weight. And trust me, this game will emotionally destroy you in the best possible way. This isn't just a zombie survival game. It's a masterclass in moral complexity that challenges everything you think you know about right and wrong. The graphics are so realistic you'll forget you're playing a game and think you're watching the best HBO series ever made. You'll experience a blend of stealth-based survival, intense combat sequences, and exploration that feels completely natural. The game is mission-driven but offers plenty of opportunities to explore detailed environments, scavenge for resources, and uncover environmental storytelling that'll blow your mind. Naughty Dog somehow made mushroom zombies terrifying again. With over 10 million copies sold and a 93 critic score, this game sparked passionate discussions worldwide. Players consistently praise its emotional depth, though many admit they needed time to process its incredibly complex themes. Expect 25+ hours of gripping narrative with moments of quiet character development between intense action sequences that'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about video game storytelling. This game represents the absolute pinnacle of what interactive storytelling can achieve. It's not just entertainment, it's art in its purest form. And there you have it. Which ones have you played? Which ones are going straight to your wish list? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's greatest experiences. Until next time, thanks for watching.